Hello? 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 We are back. A little late, but better late than never. Alright, well, so last week we got the one of my PC Engine DTs up and running. And then I really felt under the weather on Sunday, so I didn't have a second stream. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get to the PC Engine LT. But today we're going to focus on repairing this Geo AES. And some of my astute observers might notice that the PCB is free from the plastic casing. And off screen last week, because sometimes I just get bored and want to work on stuff, I went ahead and freed it from its cage, so to speak. Let me go do a couple things real quick while I can think of it. We're gonna work today on repairing this board. Because unfortunately there is a lot that is wrong with it. And by a lot, I mean a lot. So I had to pull it out because I needed to get resistor and capacitor values, because essentially this area right here is completely, and I'll get it under the microscope and show you, but all the passives in this area are completely rusted out and destroyed. This is a capacitor that's literally split in half. The Sony chip itself, the RGB encoder, is pretty corroded, so I got another one of them. This is, I think, like some sort of like logic gate. One of these two chips, I think it's this one actually. This one's also pretty corroded. So I picked up one of them. And then as I was going through the board, I made the unfortunate discovery that all of these, or most of these traces right in this area, are rotted out. And this right here, I do believe, is work RAM. So I'm going to have to, unfortunately, pull this IC to get underneath it to make sure that the traces aren't rotted underneath the chip. Then I'm going to have to map out exactly where the rotted traces go onto the proprietary SNK IC we've got right here. I'm not entirely sure what this one does. Might be a graphics processor, not too sure. However, it is not a replaceable chip. Although pretty much everything on the chip and around the chip looks fine. It's literally just this area right here, a bunch of those traces rotted out. So I don't think I'm going to get away with just repairing the traces themselves. I feel like I'm going to have to solder directly to the IC. We'll see, and the only reason I say that is because the traces are broken in multiple spots, and everything in this area is so unbelievably compact. I just don't think I'm going to be able to do it. That being said, this is a very, very, very dense IC, and I think I'm going to struggle just as much getting jumper wire put on. So we might have a lost cause here, unfortunately. I might not be able to get this one repaired because sometimes the work is just so fine. I don't think I can do it by hand. But the first things that we're going to do is we're going to at least give it the good old college try, and we're going to rebuild this section as much as I possibly can. I got a new power jack. I did verify that we are getting the proper current draw. This is what these little wires are. I kind of bypassed the power jack and just fed it 9 volts directly. I'm showing about a half an amp of current draw with no cartridge plugged in, which is, from what I can understand, pretty normal. And then I got about 0.8 with the cartridge plugged in. I'm not too sure on how normal that is, but it definitely did increase the load. So I'm thinking we might be okay, and that points to the fact that we don't have a short on the board. My voltage regulator is good, so the chances that my proprietary SNK chips are probably okay. And I did clean up around this area a little bit, and the pins and everything look fine. So it really just kind of feels like the majority of the damage is isolated pretty much in this back area of the board. I had to, and I might be able to show, but this fastener, and this fastener were literally just big piles of rusts, and I had to take a Dremel and essentially abuse a bit on it to act as a screw extractor. What's up, Felchi? I'm going over this AES board and break the rust out of the screw posts and extract these screws. So that let me free the board out, which, of course, yeah, actually, here's one right here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's so unbelievably rusted. But once I got enough force in there, it broke the rust from the screw post, and I could just manually unscrew things. So that was good. I'm not holding out much hope for this board, but I'm going to give it the good old college try and see if we can get it back up and running again. Like I said, my biggest worry, and we'll look at that right after I'm done, is the trace repair in this area. I just don't know what I'm going to be able to do about that. So let's get that under the microscope, and I can show you what I'm talking about, and then we'll get to kind of replacing some components, and yeah, we'll go from there. So let's get her under the microscope. And, all right, so we'll just go on and head over to the broken section here, and this feels like it's caught on something. Okay. All right, so you can see what I'm talking about. Anywhere that you see black or darkness, that's a broken connection. Like if I were to kind of just scrape a little bit. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I might be lucky. I might be lucky. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, that's a good sign. Honestly, let's okay, so this might just be gunk. Oh. Boy, that makes me. Okay. So let's go ahead and do maybe some better cleaning in the area. Maybe I might bust out some of that electrical contact cleaner, but woo! Boy, that scared the crap out of me, because usually when you see dark patches like that, it is a sign of a dead or corrupted trace. Let's just go ahead and scrub. I was pretty sure that I had done this already, and it was still there, but... So what if I take a piece of plastic? Because I don't want to keep exposing traces. So if I just... See, like how it's not even wanting to come off with plastic. So I don't know. So maybe just rotted PCB mask? Well, there's only one way to really test this out. Well, let's see. I don't know. My probes might not be fine enough, but that's still good. And then that goes to... Yeah, but see, I'm not... Okay, without pulling the chip. So... This is what kind of scared me. Was... See, it does look a little bit like corroded right here still. Like I'm probably gonna have to go over this with some fresh solder. We might have a poor connection, but I don't have. This is zoomed out as far as it can be. I should probably maybe do something like that. Get some better views on things. Okay. All right, let me get some more brain juice. Where'd my brain juice go? I need my brain juice, and it just literally just disappeared on me. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hiding behind my paper towel roll. All right, so I'm gonna try to see if maybe I could figure out. Maybe that's what we can do. Maybe we can. I'm more concerned about this chip right now than anything else, but you could see what I was talking about right below it. Look at this. It's a 1K resistor. Just completely rotted through. Covered in crap. That's got to go. So anyway, so we're looking at this bottom trace. And this bottom trace goes directly to what appears to be a ground. Okay, it makes me wonder. It does look... So is it ground to ground here? Just make sure I've got a connection. So you can see how it's so corroded. I don't even have a connection right there. Like this chip is just so gunked up. Signal's probably not getting. I'm probably gonna have to pull it regardless. I guess I could try cleaning it one more time, but it looks so gross. I could maybe even go take like a steel brush to it or something. It's a little shinier now. See if we've got better connection here. So I'm gonna go to there. Yep. Does that go to here? It sure does. Okay, so we might have gotten really, really lucky. We might have gotten really, 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 really lucky here. Because, so this guy's in the middle. I believe it's this pin right here. Let's see if we can maybe, I think it was this guy. Okay. Does he come through? I imagine it's going to be like, very, very, very good signs. Okay. Okay. Well, is this a 0-ohm resistor or something? I've got to figure that out. That's looking kind of junky. Because if I could just replace that with a piece of wire, but I don't think it might be a 0-ohm resistor. It might be like something like 100 ohms or something like that. I'm not very familiar with ceramic through-hole color coding. Each of these stripes represents a number, and they build up to be 1K. I did, however, so you could see this. You could just see the state of this board. This was recommended by somebody to put this in the dishwasher, and I may do that. I don't know. It makes me very, very nervous to stick a freaking $500 device in a dishwasher, but you never know. I mean, my only other choice is to literally just dunk the whole thing into a bucket of isopropyl and go over it by hand with the brush, which has its own problems. But, or I could maybe see if somebody would take it in for an ultrasonic job. Might actually end up doing that. I'd probably pay good money to have that done. So let's go to Hiroshima. Probably. Right. Shoot. Of course this thing went to sleep in a minute. Alright. Let that warm up again, but try to, there it is. Okay. Gotta have my pokey jammy ready. And let's go and look at the horror show that is the rest of this board. Okay, so this chip didn't look so bad. This chip, was it this one? Yeah, it was this one. You can see this leg and this leg are corroded. All that's corroded up top. Got a replacement ready for that. You can see all the residual rust left on this board. Just the general grossness of this area. Like this is just some sort of like, this is just to hold this down. There's a 3K resistor that's completely gone. There we go. 27K resistor, dead. Guessing that's 820. And then this is the split capacitor, which is a 10 nanofarad. I'm going to replace that, which is a 1K. I probably, like a dumbass, but I didn't do it, I probably should have bought some extra inductors as well. But what I'm planning on doing, because it needs to be done, is we're going to pull this Sony chip right here, which is the RGB encoder, so I can clean this entire area much better. It probably even wise for me to decap and whatnot, but we'll see if we can get away with it. There's a 3K resistor. So I'm literally going to have to go over this entire freaking board. And this is all the RGB section pretty much. Which we're gonna be going over anyway. But like you can see, like even like all the solder, it's like it's just all these joints are dry right here. Either they got corroded away or just poor soldering. Look at that, like that's dry. It's just the whole board's just a mess. So this is going to be a project. That's a 5K resistor that I missed. But yeah. Oh, and I did get a new power jack as well. Look at this area. Like it's just like a bomb went off. It's so gross. And that's the actual DIN plug, which I shouldn't have to replace, but I might. I don't know. It looks okay. All this fur. What the hell? All that fur got on there. But yeah, I guess we're gonna just have to start by desoldering and replacing some components. So let's go ahead and get that going. Now, this is the fun part, is that there is unfortunately no PCB markings on the rear of the board. And now this is the area in question. You can see just how gunked up this whole freaking thing got. So we're gonna basically be redoing all the solder in this area. This I think is the actual Sony chip. Maybe? Or no, this is this. So this right here, that's gonna get basically desoldered in today. And all the components in this area, you can see this is just so gross. So it's going to be a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work, but it's a labor of love. And this is I wouldn't say it's ultra rare, but it's definitely rarer in terms of consoles, and worth the effort. Now I am keeping my eye on another Neo Geo from the same seller for the same price, slightly lower serial number. And that auction doesn't end until next Sunday, so I'm just going to be keeping my eye on it for the time being. And I missed out on it last time, and I think the guy that won the auction, because I wasn't paying attention like a jackass, didn't pay. So good for me. I have another go at it, at least. Just trying to see if I can scrape some of this away. Because unfortunately what this corrosion will do is basically suck up all the heat. It won't actually let the solder melt. So it makes your life really miserable when you're trying to work and desolder components and whatnot. And also, as you were witnessing on that RAM chip, it does stop a signal from getting through. So you definitely need to clean it off. You know, all this stuff is going to get fresh solder anyway. Look how gross it looks. This whole board's going to get a nice, basically a nice once over. can see how this is. Oh man. All right, so let's just go ahead and we're gonna grab one of my better tips for this. Use a nice little chisel tip. And we'll work on the Sony chip first. It's pretty in my face. Let's just do this because I don't need to pull anything off. So I want to get a more stable base to work from here. Alright. So we'll grab this real quick. Just dry it off a little bit. Dry. Let's get this going. I think we'll just, just kind of make life a little easier here. Gonna just splooge a little bit of flux all around this area. Okay. Not entirely needed, but just given how corroded things are, I'm thinking maybe it might help just a little bit to have some flux to kind of help the solder flow from tip to the board. And we'll just go fill these out. Probably going to have to do this several times to desolder this perfect. Nice and clean. Oh boy. I wish. This thing is a freaking mess, Felchie. I am going to do my best to bring it back from the graveyard. I'm committed to this project. Yeah, you can see just how corroded this was. So I'm probably going to have to it's not even accepting solder. You can see it's just not. That one is, but okay. We got a lot of solder on this tip. Yeah, you can see how it's wanting to follow the iron tip. Because that's where the heat's at. Hey. Which is not a really good thing. But the other good thing is at least it's not so corroded that it's not liquefying, which is something that can happen. So if we take a little bit of braid now, and we'll just kind of do a very light wick job and then maybe go back again with more solder. And that way, I'm trying to clean up the icky stuff and leave good stuff on the board. It's a totally technical term, icky stuff. By the way, in case you didn't know. It's just quick light taps, because we're really going to try to let the auto pump kind of do the bulk of the work with the solder removal here. But if I could suck up some of this crappy solder and not really destroy vias, it's all the better. But I'm thinking maybe I can just kind of come in here and retap. Yeah, you can see how that's forming much nicer joints. And the reason that I'm adding solder actually makes the desoldering process a little bit easier, because the fresh leaded solder will wet down quicker and suck up better. So anything that's kind of like residual in there, it's like this one's still not. We're going to have to come back. Let's get this bottom row done. Same thing, we'll just go add some fresh and then wick it away and then add some fresh again, then clean. I want to try to use this lake of flux that I've got built up to basically make this work a little bit easier. These seem to be not too bad. Couple, I'm basically doing almost two at once here, but yeah, these are the poor side of things. But same thing now. Might end up flipping the board. Actually, I will end up flipping the board. And the reason I'll do that is because it's just easier for me. Reposition, and then we're going to get that back row. So make sure we're not going to miss any pins, so we'll get you centered. Alright, so let's just go ahead and start cleaning this up. I'm not really trying to get everything, but if I can suck up some of this bad solder, just make my life a little easier here. Braid's still pretty good, but basically what I'm trying to do is avoid stressing out these vias as much as possible. It smells funky, but not like cat fluid, so that's kind of good. One of my buddies last night was saying it looked like really bad cap damage, but I don't think so. I think it's liquid damage. I just don't think it's fluid, like electrolytic fluid damage. I think that, oh, one more. These last two actually need just a little bit of a touch up here. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and scrub. Mr. Wes Shable, how are you, my friend? Welcome to the stream. If you don't mind me asking, since this is the first time I've seen your name, where are you from and how'd you find me? Okay, so you can see how the corrosion here really is kind of still junky. Let's just suck up any extra crap in the area. But like, you can see like that's a good joint, and this is kind of dry. That's kind of dry. These are all nice and good. These are almost completely dry. Probably gonna have to come back in here with some more solder. Now comes the fun part. Before I even get started on this, we're gonna pull out my tip cleaner. This was supposed to come with this, and I had to buy it separate, but a very good investment because this thing does tend to get clogged easy. Okay. Alabama. Well, my friend, I'm from Arkansas, so we're not too far off. Actually, one of my good buddies that I game with went to Alabama for his university, so. But I guess we're supposed to be kind of rivals, but I don't really follow college football too much, so. Okay, so you came across an old Logitech G13 and wonder if it's salvageable since you've taken on a new hobby of messing with solar, like solar power? Or is that supposed to be solder? We have a saying in our circle or community of repair techs: everything is fixable. It just depends on how much effort you want to put in to fix it. Well, yeah, generally everything is kind of fixable, but some are definitely not worth it. Okay. Yeah, this is not. This is why we put the extra solder in these through hole. As you can see, it's not really sucking up too well here. Ah. Hey man, I'm kind of in the same boat. I needed a hobby that wasn't a video game and that kind of enriched my mind a little bit. And the truth be told, I've always tinkered with electronics, so this was not much of a stretch for me. Actually, this is doing a pretty good job. That might need a little work. Yeah, man, that's cool. Hey, dude, getting it apart's the easy job. That is for damn sure. But there's nothing, man. I don't know. People like to throw away things, and I can't tell you how many times that like I've bought something that was marked as completely junk, and it was literally like a ribbon cable was unplugged or something stupid. So it's worth it, man. And end of the day, like you can make a little bit of money off of it, so it can pay for itself. It's looking better. See, like that's just not coming up for me. So let's maybe try putting some more solder in that one. This is where I hate desoldering stuff. I hate desoldering through hole stuff because this always seems to be such a pain for me. Let's really kind of flood that down. See if maybe that was my problem. Hey, bud, we've all had our struggles, man, myself included. All that matters is you get yourself back on track and move past your problems, you know? See? It just does not want to. Might end up having to just really use the braid a lot on these. I might have to look into a better desoldering gun too, because this does not really seem to be doing the trick for me. Why is that not? I'll go check the temperature I got this set to. 400 degrees Celsius. So, I mean, it's supposed to be melting the solder, but it is not melting the solder. A little bit better. I'm just trying to avoid scratching up that PCB mask too. And it's just, boy, it's not too happy with me, huh? Let's see what this one's looking like. Gotta be real careful because I don't want to cut any traces now. I can't really tell. Let's see here. Could literally just be so corroded that Okay, so we might end up having to zoom in on those. It feels like it really just does feel like. Let's see if we can get better focus going. It does feel like it's still got a lot of solder in there, but I could be wrong. I am going to be 100% taking a lot of time with this. In fact, I really don't even think I'm going to get this all done today. See, this is what I'm trying to avoid is the see it. This is still soldered on. That's definitely still soldered on. And I'm telling you, if I go in, let's try it again. Just maybe it's going to be a whole day of desolder, resolder, desolder, resolder, you know, as much as I want to avoid that. Just very well, what could it very well could just be all I have to do. Sometimes you can't rush things, really. See, that came up much nicer. Still looks like there's still some tendrils in there. Hard to tell, though. Hard to tell. Okay, well, I mean, I still have a feeling we're going to have to come back and redo those. Still moving along pretty good. Like, I guarantee you, they're still attached, but... End of the day, you know, if you end up stupidly ripping a via, at least it's pretty freaking evident where all the pins go, so... Okay, so we've got 6 left to try and do here, or at least clean up as best we can. Yeah, these are all going to have to get flooded and drained again. Yeah. Yep. In fact, I think what we're going to end up doing for all the rest of these is just, again, a manual wick and then reflood and then just keep at it. So let's do that. Smells pretty bad, but again, no fish smell really. But I'm gonna try. Alrighty. Now I guess we should actually do this guy too. This is still looking pretty chunky here. Might be okay. Actually, I'm gonna leave that alone for now. So we'll try with this guy again. He's just not. Just not wanting to clear up for me, huh? Let's see here. What do we need to do to get you to clear out? Because I know for a fact that is just 100%. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Feels like it's still trapped. I could just cut the damn pins too if I needed to. But it does feel like these in particular are just not wanting to come up for me here. Okay. Some really fresh braid on these guys. So weird. Yeah, dude. Ask whatever you want, and if I can answer it, I'll do my best. If I can't answer it, I'll tell you where I think you should go look to get your answer. No such thing as a stupid question. I'm trying to avoid doing. It's just not, really just not wanting to cooperate with me in a couple of these, huh? It's called flux, my friend. Flux is a combination of some pretty gross stuff, but what it does is it helps the solder flow from heat source to the connection source. And so basically when you put flux down on top of the solder joints and then put your braid in the flux, what it's going to try to do is encourage the solder to flow from the solder joint into the braid. It also forms these really nice shiny joints. It's basically a chemical you use to make your soldering work easier. And if you don't have any and you do a lot of electronics work, I would highly suggest getting some. MG Chemicals, Amtech, they're all pretty much the same. I just can't tell if that's just. I still think it's. I still think it's. I don't know if it's because it's not getting down into the crevices there or what. That's just not right. To see so much solder in that via. I don't know why it's not wanting to come up for me here. Let's really flood it with some solder. And we'll try again here. Let's see if that helps. The last thing we could try, because this does not seem like it's cooperating with me too much here. So we could maybe, let's give it a go with this guy right here. That kind of worked a little bit better. Sometimes this manual pump is just the way to go. Might end up reflooding this one. Okay. Okay. Let's try. Maybe I should. I wonder if I should switch tips. Although, I really like this chisel tip because of the thermal mass on it. Okay, well, that's the problem with this stuff is that it starts to kind of eat away at the solder mask, and unfortunately, really make your life a kind of pain in the butt. Let's clean this up a little bit here. End of the day, I might just end up clipping all the legs off. Anyhow, if I can even do that. Just a little worried. So like, what the heck is this? Just corrosion, or is it? See, I think that trace is dead. Let's clean this up real quick. It looks like this is cut. Let's just do a quick little beep test, but yeah, I think this one's going to need to get a jumper wire installed. Yep. Yeah, see, this is now a dead trace. Yeah, that is completely eaten away. There's nothing there but substrate. Okay. Well, that's an easy repair. Like, so like this one right here. It's fine, and this guy's fine. But yeah, it's definitely a dead. So either I did that or I'm not too sure. Now, question really remains though, is that it still looks like it's soldered. Same thing with this guy. Very, very, very soldered. What the heck is that? Flux? What the heck was that? Okay, well that sucks. What the heck the hell happened? That's solder? The flying F? Where did that come from? Ugh. I don't know what the heck that was, but we are definitely cleaning that tip off now. I'm really trying to clean my soldering iron tip off too before every go, but I still think that's just like just barely connected. All right, well, let's just keep going and seeing how far we can get. This is going to be the slightly easier side to work on, I'm thinking. Grab some more brain juice, get this back into focus real quick though. See, I don't know what happened with that guy, but I might honestly just try to manual pump all these to start. See how far we can get. All right, let's see here. Just keep going through it. Manual pump's working pretty good. We could still see how just some of this corrosion is just not wanting to come up, so it's just hanging around. Same thing. It's like it gets like 99% of it now. That's got some. Let's clean this off before I make my life miserable here. When you do work. Oh yeah. Here. It's a silicone mat. You can get them on Amazon, AliExpress. You could also they do make what are called hobby mats, which are kind of a more plasticky type material, but I would suggest getting silicone because they're heat resistant. They're pretty cheap, and they will protect the working surface underneath it. I have a wood table that I use. Basically, you just want to stay away from plastic and probably metal too. I mean, metal wouldn't be so bad, but it can heat up and cause some issues. Still think that's probably gonna need more love. Man, this thing is just corroded. See, that one came off nice and clean. See, all these must be the less corroded pins, because they're all coming up pretty good. Okay. Well, that one took a while to wet, so I think I am going to just reflood this one and try this one again. Now, it could be because this one's also ground plane, it looks like. Maybe? Maybe not. Maybe not. Could be a ground plane, but definitely a very beefy trace, so they'll suck up the heat more than anything else. So let's go ahead and just grab this one more time. Okay. I mean, I'm feeling that we still have these things kind of hanging on by a thread. I mean, They do appear to be pretty loose, but that one's definitely not. That needs a little bit of love. So let's just go ahead and redo this one right here. Okay. Not sure, it's kind of looking the same to me. What did I just do with my tweezers? Did they fall? Just put another pair. Oh, there they are. Alright, so it was this guy I was a little concerned about. I could still see, yeah, like just off to the left there. Try maybe getting a little bit of braid in there, maybe. Where's my tiny braid though? Shit, I guess that went cold on me, so I can't use that. That's my big braid. Where is the small braid? Is it underneath? No? What did I? There it is. There it is. Okay. Just kind of trying to get into that left side there. This guy, so we're just kind of trying to get this now. I'm feeling when I go to try to lift this, it's going to be yeah. It's definitely still firmly attached. And it would be this chip right here. You can see how just gross this whole area looks. Now I might end up yeah, this chip is still firmly soldered in, so thinking I am going to have to get a little creative here, because that is definitely not wanting to come out. And the unfortunate situation is that it's so jammed in there that let's get a little bit more focus. Oh. I'm not sure what I could do to pull that. Well, let's see here, because I don't think trying to see if there's a way I could like jam it, so I could do it like that. Jam my tool like that, and then maybe could also I don't have to find it. I've got some chip quick. That might work. The whole problem is I was thinking I could get some hot air. Take a look at it like this. Might be able to make that work, maybe. Maybe. Okay. So, I'll let that sit. I don't want to really okay. So this is what we did. So you can see how we've got a lot of those legs coming out. So I'm thinking we can get the rest out too. Now a little bit easier. So I've got the there we go. We could just focus on that last row right there. Trying to be really gentle here. At the end of the day, if I've got to clip a couple of legs, I've got to clip a couple of legs. I think I got it. Let's grab this with some tweezers real quick and just gently work at it. I might have to heat up a single. Nope. And huzzah. There she is, folks. One highly corroded RGB video encoder. Now, let's take a look at the carnage underneath. Okay, so this is what we're working with here. I have to clean this whole area up, see what's connected and what's not. I don't think I have any traces up top. I think everything connects below. But regardless, this whole area is going to have to get cleaned. And if y'all would just excuse me, I'm going to take a couple minute break. I will be right back. All right. Sometimes you just cannot ignore nature, you know? You just can't do it. So let's just see if maybe this will help just a little bit. A little bit brighter light. Yeah, you can see why I was struggling here so much is that this is just literally corrosion. Just caked up. And it refused to kind of wet down with solder and suck up. So this is why I may figure out how to ultrasonic the shit out of this before I install any parts, because I really don't want to install brand new ICs on top of this shit, you know? And once again, where did it go? Shit. Well, there it is. Here, we'll take a... So now this was the actual video encoder, and you could see just how junkified. I'm sure it's probably fine, and I might end up throwing this into a thing of vinegar. See if I can clean it up. But we have new ones. But you could see where all the new solder, how it's all super shiny. Now look at that. Oof. Pretty gross, right? Pretty gross. So we are not going to reinstall that one. I have brand new old stock encoders. And see, like the heat. That's kind of funny. When I was heating from below, it remelted the hot glue they've got on these caps and that crystal up there. But all this stuff, I'm a dumbass. I should have just bought more inductors. They just look dirty, but okay. But I should probably have rebuilt this entire freaking area. Which I might end up still freaking doing. I mean, I've got 10 microfarad caps. I have all the rest of it. This whole area is just so gross. What is that 1,000 microfarad? I don't think I've ever seen this symbolism written like that. Let's flip this around, take a look at that. That's kind of interesting to me. Back up in here now. And so we could see over here. So that's 100. Now what the heck is he? Is that 1 microfarad times 3? So all of these are, yeah. So I'm guessing all of these, I'm guessing that's what that means. 1 microfarad by 3, so they didn't have to label it 3 times, which is kind of neat. And let's see if maybe we get some autofocus going on here. Sometimes you get lucky and yeah, 50 volt, 1 microfarad. I don't think I ordered a recap kit for this. Maybe I should have. Maybe I will. Feeling like at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to pull most of this crap. I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to clean this. I'm being real honest. Because I've hit this with alcohol a few things. Hey man, it was good seeing you. If you're still there and you want to come back, I do stream every Saturday and Sunday between 11 and 12 Central Standard Time. Is usually when I kick it off, and then I go for a couple hours. And it was great to have you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, man. And you get through the adulting stuff as quickly as possible and get back to actually having fun. Because adulting is usually never fun. Okay. Alright, so that cleaned up pretty good. Awesome, man. I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to have you. Come back anytime you want. Always welcome. Actually, didn't clean up too bad. We're going to be replacing that one as well. I imagine it's going to be the same issue. Oh, dude, bro. I grew up with the pool and maintaining a pool, and yeah, that fucking sucks, bro. But if you ever want to deal with a nightmare pool scenario, hope to God none of your pipes, none of your underground pipes ever burst if you've got an underground pool, because yeah, digging 6 feet down by hand is not a fun chore. That was probably one of the worst summers of my life. Good luck with that shit, bro. I will 100% admit I am not jealous at all. Probably just gonna end up pulling most of this. It does seem to be cleaning up pretty well, though. So that's kind of good news. Is that just a 1K? Spotlight. Yeah, that one's gonna have to get pulled. Bro, my best advice with plumbing is yeah, hire somebody to do that shit because fucking plumbing sucks. It's one of the few jobs that I refuse to do unless it's like requiring just a pair of slip jaws or you know unscrew this and screw this new one in and you're done. I'll handle that. But if I gotta fuck with cutting pipe and I don't fucking know, cutting holes in my wall, fuck that shit. I'll pay out the ass for it. As broke as I might be. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, so let's get the easy guy out first. So now this is going to be the fun part here. Now the problem with this rest of this shit is that it's literally going to be figuring out. I think it's. So like what I got to do. See, let's grab my multimeter here. And then we're just gonna, all we gotta do is find one pad. So I put one probe on what I'm looking for, and then I just go and I tap. Which is not gonna be as easy as some of the other stuff, huh? Alright, so that's one of the culprits. I'm wondering if I could just kind of get away with might have to flood and drain and flood again, but no, it should be okay. I should be able to find a pair of tweezers now. Dang it, they always hit the ground, don't they? Yeah, there's one pair anyway. Alright, so I should just be able to, this is going to be the easy one, huh? Yeah. Got that side, and then directly across from it is the other one. And this is the 10 nanofarad. Now I did learn that they kind of code these like resistors, so I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second here. Okay, that should be good enough. Alex, hello my friend, how are you? I don't remember if I've seen you before. If you don't mind me asking, where are you from and how'd you find me? And I hope your day is going fantastic. Now, if you have been here before, my apologies. I'm not the best at keeping track of chat. I will 100% admit to that. Oh no. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so what do you? Oh yeah, now I remember you. I'm sorry. What's the issue? What can I help you with? See if I can get this up with some plastic. You need to learn how to fix electronics? Well, anything in particular? That's a pretty broad topic, my friend. There is no easy answer. Unfortunately, just like with everything else in life, it really boils down to, is that not the right spot? Yeah. Well, it's a lot of reading, a lot of watching YouTube videos. There is a channel out there called EEV Blog, which is a pretty good one to follow. But I always say start off learning how to use a multimeter, because that is going to be your biggest weapon in the toolkit that you've got. And learning how to use a multimeter will teach you how to fix a majority of your issues. Doesn't seem right. Oh, well, first of all, with power supplies, yeah, you got to be real careful with power supplies. Oh, did I not pull that out? I feel dumb now. I thought I removed that. Wait a minute. But a lot of it is really just you're going to be looking up how things work. And, most of electronics repair is kind of like a giant puzzle. And not everything is the same. And it's kind of more learning about detecting how to know when a part's faulty to... There we go. Got that one. Understanding how to read resistances and like I said, learning your multimeter is your most important task. I should say, I guess. I don't know how to phrase that. But if you're going to start out somewhere, the very, very first thing that you should do is learn how to use a multimeter. What all the different modes do. When to use what mode versus another. Like continuity testing is probably the most widely used debugging method to figuring out like if components are shorted, tracking down issues like no power, stuff like that. Ooh, did I take that pad with me? I don't think I did. Doesn't look that. We'll clean that up. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I don't hand out my phone number. I'm a pretty private person to begin with, but yeah, I'm also not really a teacher. There's a wealth of information on YouTube, and I will be 100% honest with you in that a lot of the ways that I learn how to do what I do is just by going on YouTube and doing actually kind of what you're doing right now, which is go watch live streams, go ask questions, go join Discord communities like the Coder, and Retro 6 is another great resource to go join. These places have loads of people with a wealth of information, and you can ask very, very specific questions and get answers to them. Shit, I guess I did. Did I lose that pad? I think I did. Son of a bitch. I really can't tell, though. It really does look like I did lose that pad, but I might got lucky. I lost some of it, but it's still there. And besides, that trace is right there anyway to make my life easier. Hang. Oh, monitor, huh? Like a CRT monitor or like a LCD panel. That's LCD. So let's see here. Your monitor, the light only blinks, but it won't turn on. So does the light stay on, or does it blink on and off? Man, that's so crappy. Mm, not particularly. I have a very blinks on and off. Okay, so that is indicative of a short. Um, and I mean, it could be a million things, but generally when you see a blink on and blink off, it's your power circuit's not able to stay lit because it's detecting a short circuit somewhere along the path from input to output. So, um, what you would do there is you would find out, you would trace where the power comes in from the power plug, and then you would take a look at all the components along that path. You'll usually see a cluster of MOSFETs is a good sign, and there's generally one or two ICs that control the power management. And so it's basically just a whole process of like tracking back from where the power comes in and then all the components along that path as best as you can. And there are various other tools available to you, but for the most part, that's what you're going to start off doing is just basically looking at everything that comes in contact with the power plug all the way back to as far as you can trace it and seeing if anything is obviously broken or shorted to ground or, yada, yada, yada. It's again, like I said before, there's usually never any um, universal answer to these types of problems. It's just a lot of research, and what you can do to start is you could maybe put your monitor model in and describe the and into a Google search and say the same thing and see if maybe somebody out there has already solved this particular issue. And then you might be able to learn from that. Man. But the good thing is that you know you probably you probably can fix it. Let me see if I can find you something real quick here. Okay, well, let me just do this for you real quick. Okay. So those are two pretty stout communities. The first one is for the coder, and the second one is for Retro 6. Um, you can also find a forum out there called Tronics Fix, Although you probably won't get as much help as you will on the Discords. But I would start by joining those Discord communities and finding the appropriate subform for your question and then asking that question there. Um, and just let people know that your experience level is at the beginner, and people should be able to help you pretty easy. Turn that off, did I? God dang it. Whatever. Really just more worried about ruining more pads. Hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. Um. Hmm. Hmm. Trying to think of the best way to advise you on this, because that does kind of suck. That is the kind of shitty things about online communities, that people may or may not be willing to help. Uh, 1K need to go. So what are you doing? How are you testing your cap? Did you test to see that one side's connected to ground and the other side isn't? Is it a surface mounted capacitor, or is it one that looks like this guy right here? So these two. Yeah, that's making sense. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah. What, through hole? Okay. So the question still stands: so a through hole has a negative side which should be connected to ground, and a positive side which should be feeding the voltage line or signal line or whatever it's going. So one side should be connected to ground, and the other side shouldn't. Have you verified that that is the case? So one side's connected to ground and the other side isn't? Is that what you're saying? Okay. So then you're correct. Then, unless the capacitor is showing signs of being bloated and or cracked or otherwise damaged, then the capacitor is probably not the issue. So basically, what you got to do now is follow the positive side to where it goes next, and then see what that touches, and then keep going. And you know how to use your meter in continuity mode to trace out signals. Do you have a meter with continuity mode? Yeah. Well, it was not surprising. I mean, they modern capacitors is okay. So you have a meter with continuity mode. Capacitor looks brand new, which is not surprising because these things take decades to fail for the most part. So your problem probably lies further downstream from where you're looking. So basically, use your meter in continuity mode, put one leg on the positive of the cap, and then figure out either visually by looking at the traces or by just tapping around where it's connected. And then you just got to keep looking at all the passes attached to it and testing all them one by one. So it's kind of a dangerous idea. No, you don't have to plug it in. I would suggest doing all your testing without power attached. Continuity is just going to detect that you've got a direct path between your probes. Okay, let's see. So right now, yeah, I'm just trying to lift this. I don't want to. It looks like it's good, but it's still telling me it's. that side out. I can't tell if it just disintegrated or... Alright, so then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Oh, it definitely did disintegrate. These things are rusted straight through. Look at that. Now that side just came up, so this resistor just broke in half essentially. Just like that. Okay. Now, the same thing for this side. Pull that right through. I think I might have sort of damaged that via slightly. Hate doing it this way. Thankfully, the whole stuff is very easy to do trace repair on. That's still pretty much good, just a little bit too much heat maybe. Same right here. You can see like this solder is so busted, like. Might have gotten lucky there and just kind of forced it through. Let's go ahead and give the area a slight clean again. Looking good. Looking good. To be quite honest, looking pretty good. Definitely still have the components attached though. That's my guess. And it's looking to be that way, yeah. Now I might get lucky here. Let's see. These guys now I can't really see because of the shadow. But we can see where my good tweezers go now. Right there. Okay, let's see here. We got pretty much got this guy, and then this guy. Okay. Okay. Hold that one out. Now I've got to go to the other guy, which I'm really kind of having trouble seeing. Just because of how junky everything is back here. What did I do? There you are, right there. Now, okay, I see about... Huh? Don't worry about it, man. I mean, I'll try to help you as best I can. I can't really make any promises. In regards to your struggling to get people to respond to you, make sure you're asking very specific questions, not just general, how do I fix this? Because it's hard for people to answer that. But if you're asking a question about a part, or how do I test this, or, does this look broken? Those will get more responses than I just need help fixing this, because a lot of times you have to understand that it's just too complicated to really guide somebody. Oh no, I don't think I just ripped that pad off. Shit. Thankfully, I don't think. Dang it. Let's take a look here. No, we're looking intact. I don't think that resistor's connected topside anyhow. Okay. Not looking bad for the most part. I can't tell if that's still got a whole bunch of junk in here or not. It sort of looks like it does, doesn't it, guys? Like, I could swear to God, I could still see. Yeah, we're okay. Might be a little bit of junk on the top side of that board. And unfortunately, I don't know exactly what I did with my Pokey Jammy. Is this it? There it is, right in front of my face, which is how I like it. Okay, so let's give this a nice little clean. All of them, just make sure we can go through. Looks to be good to me. Take a look on the other side now. I'm going to clean this up while I'm here. Okay. But, okay. Those two resistors are now cleared out. Take a look at the other side and figure out where we're going from there. Okay. So that's the 27K and then an 820 ohm. Now the problem I'm having is this damn, see, I can't tell if that pad goes anywhere or not, or if that's even a pad. Come on, stupid thing. Alright, so this dang cap is there. It looks like it's still there. What we're gonna do though, a little old test real quick, is come at it from one side. Does this work? Yeah, that'll work good enough for me. Yes, okay, so the pad's still there. That's good. Very, very, very slow processes. Corrosion is making my life pretty miserable. It's like I'm convinced, I think, at this point, just kind of snipping the resistors in the middle and then pulling them out that way is probably the best way to go about this. Oh, I'm not too sure. That 1K needs to go. I mean, those freaking capacitors look so bad. I don't even know what that is. That's not a 1K. I'm wondering if there was a capacitor here. I might ask somebody who's got a 3.6 board to take a photo for me.
Hey.
I really need to go get like what do they call, dental pick type toothbrush. Really what I'm going to probably end up doing is just soldering everything in this area just to clean it. Or maybe I will just go ahead and suck it up and do the dishwasher trick. But in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to get like a gallon of isopropyl alcohol to neutralize the water at the end of it. I mean, it's not cleaning up bad, it's just a pain in the ass. I think it's gonna take a lot of Q-tips. Probably more Q-tips than it's worth. See, even that, I don't even know. I guess that's a 45 picofarad, which I actually should have. Did buy a whole collection. Look how corroded all that stuff is. And that's even after cleaning it. Oh, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. it's just so junky. I just kind of want to. See, it's still super dull. Yeah. It's so bad. I mean, all this is just so corroded. This is why I pulled this chip, but that's just literally all this corrosion. Kind of wondering if I went over it with some fresh solder and then just wicked it away again. What it would look like. This is just so junky. Oh my god, man, this whole board. Yeah, I might end up just doing the. Yeah, and it's the IPAs only get you so far. And you can see like how it's just, see, like this is shiny and that's dull, and that's because there's corrosion on there. And what you can do is basically put fresh solder on top and wick it away, and that should take the corrosion with it. You can see it everywhere. I mean, this board is really rusted out. That's what I was saying. I think this whole section just kind of needs to get redone. Man, what is it? 3 o'clock. I was really hoping to be a lot farther than I was. I guess I didn't really need to rush to get those components in, because I don't think. I mean, it's just the whole board is just coated in this crap. I want to know what the heck happened to this thing. Probably got stuck in some damp ass area. Dust accumulated over the years. Some guy found it and sold it. Just look how junky everything is. My god. It really just needs an ultrasonic clean. Yeah, I have plenty of steel brushes and brass brushes and stuff, but you got to be real careful with those in the PCB because you'll start to tear up PCB mask. So I tend to use it pretty sparingly. Really, what I want to do is get this into like an ultrasonic cleaner, or at the very least my dishwasher, and clean off as much of the surface crap as I can, and then hand do the rest. It's been very, very, very slow going. You can just see how corroded the board is. Well, it's kind of funny saying this, but it's actually not. It's in pretty decent shape, minus the surface crap on it. All the important bits are still good. Like this right here. You can see like just how corroded that is. And that's kind of what I'm hoping the ultrasonic would clean up, is just basically all these crappy solder joints. So if I have to go and reflow every single IC on this board, it's going to be a literal nightmare. My guess is that's probably what's going to have to happen. It's mine. It's mine. I don't really do... I don't really take commission work that often, and usually if I do, it's somebody that I'm personally familiar with. Or if it's a very, very easy job that I don't have to worry about destruction of the part, then I'll do it. But yeah, I generally don't take commission work because I don't want to deal with the stress of potentially ruining somebody's equipment. That's just hot glue. You can just see all this crap there. Back to this area. This is what we should be focusing on. Makes me... Alright, so we've got this guy by the crystal. Boy, do I... See, that's just bothering me. but we can see how that cleaned up pretty nicely. Yeah, so the corrosion does clean up pretty nicely. But I'm guessing this is probably not gonna, I don't know what I should do. I don't know what I should do. I keep working on this, but I think I need to clean it first. I really think I should honestly figure out how I'm going to clean this before I keep working on it. Because it's just going to be a nightmare, and I should probably go order cap kit, some more inductors. Yeah. Oh, we got one IC off at least. Guess I could do the other one. Oh, looks to be okay. This, I think, is the pallet RAM. It's just so dirty, I can't see. Can't even tell. Guess that's a. Could be a capacitor array. No, they're not connected. Yeah. I think I'm just fooling myself here. I really think I need to focus more on cleaning the board first, and then we'll come back to repairing it. Because there's no point in me putting on fresh parts to this board with it looking the way it's looking.
Hey.
Yeah, I can see like there. I don't even think that's going to be showing as connected, is it? Let's find out. Well, it does. So that's good news. Just so much crap. That's better picture of what we're looking at, I think. I'm gonna need to come through here, yeah, because like that's gonna need to get cleared out. And okay, well. I was gonna end it early today. Thank you for everybody who stopped by and like, subscribe. From anybody watching in the future, I do appreciate it. I'm gonna stop a little early today because it does not seem to be in my best interest to continue on this project until I can actually get this PCB cleaned off properly. This way, when I go to install parts, I can see what I'm doing better, and hopefully removing the rest of the parts is going to be a lot easier. Plus, looking at some of these ICs and everything, they're just so gunked up that I really think it's just in my best interest to figure out a way to clean the slime off first, and then we'll focus on repairing it next. Thankfully, I didn't really remove too much, so I should just be able to do most of that from memory. Okay, well, I'm just going to call it a day, and I will probably be back tomorrow. Hopefully be back tomorrow. I think tomorrow, if we do stream, I would like to actually finally work on my LT. So we'll kick it off with that. I do stream every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to noon Central Standard Time to, I don't know, a couple hours, 5 o'clock p.m. I try to do repairs on Sunday and mods on Saturday, although as you can tell, lately I've just been doing repairs on both days. So we got that going for us. So hopefully I'll see you here tomorrow. And if not, I hope you all have a good rest of your week. And definitely have a good rest of your evening. So, all right, guys, I'm going to call it a day. Take it easy.